Hey there, Star Wars fans. This is Wesatron. Today we're going to be taking a look at Hasbro's brand new Star Wars The Black Series Luke Skywalker. This is figure 01 in the series, and these are just now hitting retail. Specifically in my area, they're showing up at Target stores. So if you get the chance to go check out, Target's doing the resets right now, and they are putting these out, and they're not actually hanging them from pegs. They're on the actual shelf itself. So as you can see, a very new type of design as far as the US goes. In terms of 6-inch action figures, we've got a window box, very similar to like SH Figuarts or something Japanese. True to the Black series, a lot of the packaging is black. Nice orange there, Luke Skywalker. You can see his different accessories is the word I was looking for. Here we got the pistol, the lightsaber. We've got his X-Wing helmet here. The figure looks great. We've got the nice lighting detail there in the background. At the top you can see there's a picture of Luke that's actually been drawn. It's not just a photo that's been manipulated. Whereas on the back, this is really interesting. Each one has a unique photo from the movie that's been kind of done in stamp style. And then at the top it's got a small little bio and then a quote from the character, which is very cool. I like that. And then down at the bottom, it's just got, you know, a little extra information. But yeah, pretty cool box there. Let's get him out and see what he's like. Here we have Luke out of packaging, all geared up, and you can see that this guy is pretty cool. They did a really great job, I think, head to toe on this figure. I'm very excited to have him in the collection. One thing to note, this is a resealable package, so if you are the kind who likes to display your figures in box, and granted these are very cool looking boxes, you can save these and put your figures back in. I didn't have any problem getting the lightsaber out, you know, risk of breakage or anything. So very cool that they did that for collectors, because that is just a open at the top kind of package. So, oh, I knocked over Luke. That being said, let's get to the figure himself. Very cool. I really dig this guy. For their first outing for 6-inch figures, I think Hasbro did a really good job about waiting for the time when they knew they could do it right. And I, at least, think that they did a great job. So you can see, let me get his lightsaber out of his hand. They did a great job making the helmet not look completely ridiculous while it sits on his head. It doesn't look too big or anything. You know, the helmet, the X-Wing helmets were always pretty big on their own, so they did a good job of making it just thin enough and just rubberized enough to fit over the hair without it looking too strange. So we've got the Rebel pilot symbol here. All the little details on the helmet, all really nicely done. Very cool. And because it's not a separate head, you can just unhook that off the chin strap, and pull right off of the top of his head, and then you can actually have him hold it in his hands, which is very cool. I love that they added that. So you can see the clear plastic for the eyes there. Completely see-through, so you can see his eyes behind it and everything. Very nicely done. I really dig the way they did the helmet. We've also got his blaster as an accessory, and you can see they did a lot of great little detail work on there. The silver is painted nicely, the grip is painted in brown very nicely. Got the broomstick style handle, big paddle handle, very cool. The sight on the side, everything just looks fantastic. They did a great job. This is a little bit of a softer rubber, but it's not super crazy soft. Like, I don't think it's going to warp too easily in package. This one actually came out very nicely, so I'm very happy with that, because that can be a bad point for Hasbro in terms of their Star Wars figures. We've got the lightsaber hilt. Very nicely done. I love that they painted the black on the rubber strips of the flash tube. They painted the little rubber, or the red button there. Everything looks great. Gold here, just fantastic. And it's got a hook for his belt, which is cool because the wonderful lightsaber blade is actually, even though it doesn't look it, it is removable. There we go. Just pop it right out like that. And the peg is not so long that I'm worried that it's going to break very easily either. So this looks great, though, with just being able to do it like that. You've got a little hook on his belt here, and the little loop there. Just hook the loop over the hook, and boom. Perfect. Very cool. I really dig that. It was a very nice touch by Hasbro. In the past, they've done some figures that actually have the hook and loop and everything. except the lightsaber blades are not removable, so they would have like an on lightsaber hanging from their belt, which is just very odd on itself. So, onto the figure. We've got the likeness of Mark Hamill here. Hopefully that's not exactly in focus, is it? Come on, there we go. Very nice likeness of Mark Hamill. Maybe a little too much light on there. There we go. Very, very cool. They did a good job painting the eyes. I think the sculpt actually works very well. I mean, especially from the side. Look at that. That's dead up Mark Hamill. Very, very cool. They've got his little mole here. He, I don't think had the scars yet, so his face isn't scarred quite yet. Very, very cool. The hair is very well done. Got those feathered bangs that kind of push back. And then the paint is not just a solid yellow color. It's sort of a kind of a blondish brown, and then it's got like blonder highlights throughout. So very, very cool. They did a great job with that. On the costume, we've got all those great sculpted details, and you can see the texturing all throughout. Everything is painted. A little bit of weathering here on the white part so that it's not totally straight up white. Outstanding paint. They did a really, really good job, and all the details are very well sculpted. Another thing I have to say that's really nice about this is that the parts that are painted match very well with the plastic that comes with them. As you can see in the arm here, plastic painted, but it's not easy to tell, and that's on both sides. You know, it just doesn't look like, you know, I think Mattel has had a lot of trouble lately trying to match paint to plastic, and it's been kind of a nightmare from the looks of it, or even plastic to plastic. But this comes out very, very nicely. Everything looks accurate to me. I'm not a 100% aficionado, but everything looks good to me. I really like the way they did the harness here. It's hard to tell, but there's actually a glued separate piece right here that they match the paint so well to. It's hard to even see that it's there, but they glued that so that this is a separate piece, but the belt is molded on. Very, very cool. And we've got some nice texturing on there as well. Just outstanding. Peg holes on the bottom. Just looks fantastic. A little bit of QC. I'm not 100% sure because I haven't seen reviews of this yet, but you can see on his right shin here the letters CE, which I believe is a licensing thing or something to do. You see it on a lot of action figures. I think that's probably supposed to be on the back of the boot. I'm thinking that mine is misconstructed a little bit. It's not easy to see, so it's not a real big deal for me. But you can see it doesn't affect the articulation at all that I've seen. He still poses great and everything, but I think that that's supposed to be on the back. So I think his foot might be on backwards. But the articulation is so good there that it doesn't really matter either way. So it's just a matter of preference, and I'm not going to return this guy over something that silly. Very cool. Articulation is kind of the new, I guess, draw to these, aside from the size, which is very cool. Articulation is definitely where it's at. And he has Marvel Legends style articulation. It may not be as 100% awesome as Marvel Legends, but it's very, very good. We've got a ball jointed head, so a lot of nice motion there. And then we've got the hinge for the head, so he's got that ball joint, but he's also got very nice down and very nice up, which surprises me because of his hair in the back. They actually carved it out a little bit, you can see on the back, so that he would still retain his upward mobility. Very, very cool. I dig that. Swivel hinges in the shoulders go up very, very far. Nothing to hinder the shoulders. They're fantastic. Love them. Swivel hinge elbows. So we get about 90 degrees, maybe even a little bit more. And then we've got rotation in there as well. Swivel hinges in the wrists. This one goes all the way around and in and out. This one is a tighter joint on this wrist, but you can see in, out, that sort of deal. And then this one goes all the way around and then has a hinge for up and down, which is good for posing with the lightsaber or the pistol. So very cool. Ball jointed midsection. Very nice range of motion there. They did a great job. Of course, you've got rotation there as well, but the hinge is actually, or it's not a hinge, but the motion is that of a hinge. So very, very, very cool. They did a really good job there. Ball jointed hips. This is the only part of the figure that I think could have done a little better because the ball joint only goes out about that far because it is a true ball joint. They didn't cut it high enough into the top of the hip here. I mean, you could pull that off and probably do that yourself and it would go out a lot further, but you only get about that much range out of it. Maybe even a little less on the right leg. Which isn't too bad on this particular figure because of the harness. You don't want to go out too far because then you'll risk tearing this. So that may have been an intentional thing on Hasbro's part. I don't know. But I think you could probably improve that if you wanted to. But again, watch out for the harness. Swivels in the tops of the thighs. Very tight joint that. Very, very tight joint, but nicely done. Double hinges in the knees. Pull this out of the way. You got the first point gets you about there. Yeah, there you go. And second point will get you about there. So very nice range of motion on the knees, and that will be a little different from figure to figure, or from knee to knee, because of he's got the whatever these canister things are over here. We got swivels in the tops of the boots, both sides, and then hinges. Very nice range of motion on the hinges, and then that wonderful new Hasbro ball joint there, or the swivel that's in the foot. So very cool. What that does is when you put the foot out to the side, you can rotate that and then twist at the top of the boot and give him flat-footedness. Very cool. Yeah, I don't really have much to say bad about this figure. Hips could be a little bit better, but yeah. $20 price tag for this guy. For 20 bucks, the only thing I would have added with that is a stand. I think they could have easily done Star Wars stands for all of these. But again, the thing you got to think about with these, with the higher dollar price tag, is that there's no room for reuse here. Or very little at least. I mean, we don't want, 10 X-Wing Lukes, coming out here. That would be kind of crappy. So it's good that we are paying the higher price, because it means that they're probably not going to reuse these molds a lot, which is fantastic. So $15 for a standard figure. And let's see, 20 for these, $5 higher. I would say if you're a Star Wars fan, still worth it. These are probably pretty close to NECA quality figures in terms of sculpt, articulation, and paint. So I do think it's worth it. It'll of course be up to you and your own fandom whether or not you believe that is true. But for me, I think it's pretty outstanding. You can see them compared to a 3 3/4 figure. Well, there we go. Yeah, good figure, good articulation, great sculpt, paint, everything is fantastic, lots of accessories. I love the removable blade from the lightsaber hilt. What's not to love? I think this is a good figure. I love that you can reuse the packaging. Not much to go wrong with here. Yeah, and Series 1 also has R2-D2, so that really, really works with the X-Wing look. Dig it. If you have any questions or comments about this guy, I would love to answer them for you. Anything you feel like I glazed over, anything else that I can help you with, please let me know. Like I said, I bought this at Target for $20. Head out to your local Targets. They seem to be the ones doing the resets right now. I don't know about Walmart. I haven't heard anything yet. So, yeah, they are available on Amazon, but they're currently out of stock. BBTS also has them in stock for the case at $80. Which is all 4. One case equates to one each of the first 4 figures, which is Darth Maul, Luke Skywalker, R2-D2, and the Sand Trooper. So, yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Questions or comments, box below. Yeah, have a great one. Thanks.